Hi, my name's Keith Cooper from Northlight Images. This is a short video addressing one of the questions I was asked when I asked the other day in a video where to take this channel because I'm moving. Now I'm going to show some other aspects of equipment and stuff, but the specific question was, what kit do I use for my day-to-day work, my actual paying work? Now, I do architectural photography, I do industrial photography. I tend to use a certain amount of kit. It's expanded a little bit in the last few years when I incorporated medium format in that, as well as 35mm. Now, why have I got this particular set of kit here? Well, I mentioned the other day that we're looking to move later this year, and as part of that I've had to have an absolute massive clear out of stuff. I've lived in this house since 1987, quite a bit of the time on my own, which means that it's a big house and there's a lot of stuff. Now I've already got rid of all sorts of things. I had a spare drawer like this one here. These drawers go all the way back here, a chart drawer, and I found a home for that. Yeah, there were photographers wanted ones like this. I wish I could have had some more, the number of people who were interested in it, but yeah, it was, as I said, free to a good home. I've got lots of stuff that can be packed away, and the idea is, obviously, people move in different ways. We're not moving a huge distance, probably. We don't even know where yet. But anyway, the idea is that I want to pack away as much stuff as much to empty the house to be able to photograph it, to sell it. People don't necessarily have the imagination to walk into a room as crowded as this particular one is and see it for the space. They just see the stuff in it. But then you have to allow a lot of people buying houses exhibit a massive lack of imagination as to what you can do with them, but that's another matter altogether, and that's partly in Karen's court, that one. She's looking at stuff like that. But anyway, what kit do I absolutely not want to put away into storage? What do I use for my work? Say industrial photography. Now the industrial photography, I have got a few bits of lighting kit as well and things, but one of the ones is that's actually lighting here and a few other. But this is the basic kit I use for my commercial work. I have two tripods. Now this is another thing. I've got a corner of the office that is just stacked up with tripods and things. I do not need 17 tripods. I really ought to get rid of some of them. But the one I use for the architectural work is this one. It is a Rigetti T32. This is a carbon fiber one. It has a geared head on it that allows me to set things very nicely, has lots of levels. I've done a video about this. It has a few sorted attachments and things as well. I've even got a set of wheels that go on the bottom, but I don't really use that. But this is the one for the architectural work. It's geared so it tilts when you put a camera on it. Really easy to set up. It's nice. I use it outdoors sometimes as well, but the one I use, and I have done for years for a lot of industrial work and on building sites and things like that, is this one here. This is a Bembo one. I've also covered this one in a video. This is a weird tripod. You can set it at all sorts of angles, but it is so solidly built. I'm not worried about taking this one and using it on a building site on a rainy day. Whereas this one, yes, it's robust, but I really don't want to cause problems with the gearing and everything like that in this. Anything like this you need to take a bit more care of. What about camera kit? Well, it's the basic stuff that anyone who's looked at my videos will know about. There's a GFX 100S. This has got the 4500 lens on it. There's a Fuji 30mm tilt shift lens. Those two, superb quality. Other lenses are generally adapted. There's a TSE 17mm shift lens. Don't use that very often on the GFX. It shows its age a bit on that one. But I've got a Canon R5 here. Most of these lenses will work on both of them. That is another one I use, TSE 50mm. It's 50mm on equivalent because it is 50mm on the R5, equivalent to about 40 odd millimeter on the GFX. This one's really nice to use on the GFX. 40mm gives a nice coverage. It's just longer enough than the 30mm to make a nice set between the two of them. And I did note, thank you to the people who suggested I go outside a bit and show myself using some of these lenses. I will try and do that. As part of that, I picked up, over just to experiment with, a really cheap motorized camera gimbal that I'm going to show in a moment. Trying to show some pictures inside my print room. This is an area that, you know, camera phone photography is something I generally have avoided, mainly on the grounds I'm happy using kit like this. But anyway, other lenses. TSE 90, the original one, it just works. It's really nice still, gives me that extra length. Pop this, it's small as well, I can pop it in the bag. I want movements on a longer lens, I can use that on the GFX with an adapter, or on the R5. I've got my old 70-200 2.8L. I don't need it often, but I do need it occasionally. Used it on a job the other day. Photographing, and this is the kind of stuff I do as well as the basic finished architecture. I was showing photographs of people using various equipment around a lake, putting pilings in around a lake because the edges were falling in. It was in a flood area, so yeah, there were all sorts of technical problems, but I wanted some longer lens shots so that I didn't have to wade through a drained lake to get close-up shots, and that 200mm on that one on the R5 is fine. I've got a teleconverter if I need, but this is what I've put together as the bits that stay with me. So more exotic lenses. This is RF only. This is the Bright Star 9mm. I did a review of this. It's fully manual lens, RF mount. It's wider than anything I've got, almost, and it's just very good. I got some great shots, but 9mm, you need to know how to use it carefully, to get the composition right. Challenging it can be, but you can make some great looking pictures. I did say I've got something a bit wider. This one I don't use that often. This is the Canon 8-15 zoom fisheye f4L. Now, this gets you interesting shots, but remember, interesting can quickly become sameish. A lot of people, they get fisheye lenses. Now, I've done loads of stuff on fisheye lenses, more on the articles than that predate many of my videos, such as the original review of this I did. But fisheye lenses, particularly with the geometric correction you can do to the images, make for some very interesting shots, interesting coverage. When I'm doing industrial photography, quite often I've got to show some equipment or something like that, but I've got to make it an interesting picture as well. Now, some pictures I do are just basic pictures of bits of kit, and they're going to be used in instruction guides and things like that, installation manuals and stuff online, bits like that. But every so often, being able to get really close in with a huge, great wide angle can generate shots with impact, and that just make people stop for a moment, look at it, and that's what you're doing in a brochure or something like that. But that is the basic kit. As I said, a little bit of lighting like this, the inky one here, some battery packs, a few others, now cards, but in general, the kit that I actually will need can sit easily on top of this table here. Now, there are drawers full of stuff that I've collected over the years. There are things like this drawer here, which is just full of stuff, and it goes all the way back to the back. Useful stuff, particularly when I'm doing macro work. You use all sorts of props and bits and pieces. The macro work I don't do that often, so that in a way goes into the inter-storage stuff. This is the stuff that I need because I can be called on at fairly short notice to just go and photograph a building site or something like that, or a building that's just been finished before somebody moves in, they want some shots. This is the sort of go-to stuff. There's a few bags and pieces like that. But anyway, I mentioned lots of other stuff that's got to be packed away. Let's have a look in my print room. Now I'm going to try this with the camera phone, so excuse slight wobbliness as I get the hang of this. Well, this is a new one for me. I'm experimenting with a camera gimbal on a phone, so we'll see how good this is. But I want to use this to go and show some of the papers that I've got in our print room. More stuff that needs moving, but it seems to work. Perhaps I'll try this outdoors as well. So here we are in what is my print room. This years ago used to be my actual dark room, and as you can see, got rather a lot of boxes of paper on the back here. Now this is one of the reasons why I can do so much testing, reviews and things like that, because I keep all the papers I'm sent for when I'm doing reviews. There are boxes of it. If we look up a bit, you'll see that I also have lots of rolls of paper as well. So there we go. And yeah, there's 24-inch, 40, there's 40, there's everything here. But that's the paper collection, and that will have to move as well. Hopefully that didn't look too bad. That's part of my experimenting to try and cover stuff that people asked about. I was reading and watching a few other things about photographers saying, you know, have their photography careers hit the end of the line? What are they going to do? In a way, my photography career has, I never did weddings. I never did events that much. Yeah, I cannot feign interest in giant checks being handed over and things like that very long. I could do it for a short while, but not for any length of time. The sort of stuff I do, this is, you know, kind of images I take are ones that you can't, for the foreseeable future, generate using AI. Because I'm photographing people at work, I'm photographing equipment and things like that, and that doesn't exist at the kind of photographs that people want. Yeah, it will change, but as I said in the other video, if you've got any ideas, have a look at it. It was just the other week. If you've got any ideas for things you'd like to see covering, please do let me know. I was really pleased with the response I got from people. Loads of people emailed me with various suggestions and things and that. I'm not going to be clearing out that much more kit, but yeah, we've got a lot of packing to do. Anyway, I hope that was of some interest. Let me know. If you're curious about any of the kit that I actually use, I've probably covered much of it in reviews, either videos or written reviews, and the written reviews are always much more detailed. I'm still waiting for Canon to send me a Pro 310 to test, because I have a Pro 300 here that I'm going to compare the two of them and actually see, you know, what differences are there between the Pro 300 and the Pro 310. Not a lot, I'm going to tell you up front, because, you know, the mechanics are the same and things. Yeah, there will be interesting changes in the inks, but I want to see what real changes there are and whether anyone would notice it. But anyway, yeah, pile of kit. Now back to filling up boxes. Thanks for watching.